Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gavel Strikes. I'm Brian Wiedman.
And I'm Xavier Chavez.
As always, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully, we're not being snowed out, frozen out. There's no ice storms, possible. Hopefully, anytime in the near future. Let's leave that for another 5 years. I moved to Texas, so I didn't have to worry about that. You've never been in it before because of living in Miami. Right?
Again, I've never had to deal with any ice or snow. So
Never seen snow in your life?
well, again, no, I've seen snow. I have family in New York, so I've seen snow.
Okay.
But
who wants to? If you like that, great. But if you don't like it, like I don't, Texas is the place to be.
I prefer not driving in it. That's for
Nobody wants to drive in it. I mean, I know how to do it because of living, up north my whole life, but it was not fun. I'll tell you that.
Again, public transportation, I'm sure, in places like New York and Chicago really helps. But not Miami.
No, not at all. They shut down a whole Dallas Metroplex
for at least a day.
For at least that. It was no fun. So thank you for joining us. We are not being snowed out. We'll get rained out here or there, but we won't be snowed out. We'll still be with you. We have a great show. What do you got? I mean, we were going to have a guest today, but they kind of moved the sale along. We were going to have the movie posters guy, Zach, come with us, join us. But his sale got pushed back a month, so we pushed him back a month. We figured it'd be better. He said it would be better to be closer to his sale, and I agree. I think that'd be we'll have him on as a guest when his sale comes up.
And it's our belated Valentine's special. So.
Oh, I forgot about that. So. That was yesterday. So happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to all our viewers, especially the ones that are viewing right now. And
X is single, yes. I think that's really why he wanted to say something.
No, again, it was a tagline. Again, comics are forever. And when we start with the art, we have a very censored scene of love gone wrong, let's say.
Uh-oh. Who murdered who?
Well, again, going into the art, this is a crime and punishment page. And this is one of the ones that in Overstreet you see it's a censored panel. And we actually don't have the art to the original, what they censored it with. But this is the original art, which they said it was too much. So it starts off with a kitchen scene, and then the guy choking the woman, literally. And you can just imagine what happens in the kitchen.
And that's why all these glue stains are here, is because they had the paste up on top of it.
And with older art, they didn't really use any newer glues. It was horse glue. It was horse glue, basically, and that's why it yellows so much. So, and again, it's a great page. Again, a significant page cited in the Overstreet. We actually have a little bit of a panel over here where they changed the wording also. But again, under $500, Tommy. It's $47, and
it's a twice up.
It's a twice up golden ink page, censored in and credited in the Overstreet. So, and we have several other golden ink pages from the series and other series.
That's a big deal.
So, and especially the censored piece. So, I'd love to have at $47.
I would bet you it's not staying at that, and I would almost bet you that those are a lot of proxy bids in there. Mm-hmm. When we see a lot of lower value items like this, a lot of people are waiting until the last second to put their proxy.
It's true. They already put the proxy, so they don't have to show their bid. That's one of the biggest things. But I am definitely going to put a bid in this because it's a significant page. Again, historically significant, cited in the Overstreet, and it's just a really cool thing to have. So
okay, you even taught somebody something on your first item. Yeah, that's even more impressive. I usually wait as I go through. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. That's a cool page.
Oh, it's an awesome page. So, and again, like I said, there's several other Golden Age pages.
Look at the back. Look at how much they changed on the back of that.
So this was probably framed. That's why this is taped like that.
You think?
So yeah, that was probably they. Back in the day and up to the 80s would use this kind of tape. Again, they would get closer to the edges. I don't know. Maybe this had something of provenance there. Maybe it had the panel on the back,
Could be.
and it just got separated
But
after
they
time.
also
So
used to do cutouts like that on the actual panels from the back sometimes, and
yes,
and
and
then
then
repaste
and
them in.
and tape them back with this kind of tape,
Mhm.
but we don't see any of editing like that.
Gotcha.
So
That was the first thing that came to my
yeah,
mind when I saw it.
so
Cool.
yeah.
That's a good piece. This piece is stunning.
So again, I try to bring, like I've said every episode, try to bring a panel strip daily. So and this Frank Goodwin Rusty piece. Again, if Tommy can bring it up, it was close to $500 last time I saw it because of the again inking, and it's still under $500. But this is one of those pieces that again you see the shadowing, you see the cross hatching, you see the brickwork, and it's just such detail.
It's so detailed it almost looks like a Frazetta. When I first saw it, I almost thought it was a Frazetta.
And you can see where they take inspiration from all these other golden age artists and stuff like that. And I'm sure in this panel it was either Milton Caniff or Frazetta, especially. I love this where you see the difference between the shadowing,
Right.
where you get to the more light. So, and this is one of the reasons. Again, this is one of the more expensive strips that I've seen of Frank Goodwin. So, it's at least in recent years. So it's a nice piece.
But there's a reason why it is a beautiful piece.
Again,
the detail is ridiculous.
like one of our colleagues says, the more ink, the more expensive it is.
Oh, that might be. Who says that?
Ed.
Ed.
Ed loves saying.
Sounds like
the more ink on it, the more expensive it is. So and again, you can see with this piece, the detail and the effort and the time that he put into the piece compared to probably other ones that he was rushed in or something like that. So this I brought along because it's again a UK piece and it's one of those puzzle pieces. But Tommy, if you show it again, it's under. It used to be under $100. It's $125 right now, but it's one of those cool pieces by Al Milgrom, again editor of Marvel at a time, and connect the dots. Who didn't like doing that when
I thought you were going to connect the dots on as a live,
Well, maybe with blue lines. So
lines.
That seems what he did, which is cool because again, at the end of the day, you don't have to do it. You can see some of the depth of the blue line, and again, another piece where you see that there's a paste up, and if I can do it very gently, you see where all the blue line was originally there, and that's also a piece of another paste up underneath from on the board, which is even crazier. So, but it's a great fun piece, especially to have on your wall, especially if again nostalgia with all comic art and stuff like that. So
I mean, we all grew up seeing things like this and wanting to do them in our books, or a lot of us didn't. But
I know a lot of us did. Also,
a lot of us did. Yeah.
That's why the books are worth so much now. But if this was in an American publication instead of a UK publication, you can just imagine what the price would be compared. So it's like the Hostess pieces. That's one of the reasons So there's always the Hostess pieces that are in all the comics, and then they went into the gold key. Yeah, for the Twinkies or the fruit pies and stuff like that. And again, those generally go anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000, and it doesn't really matter sometimes if it's superhero or Casper because it was placed in those publications as well. So it's just a fun piece to have, and it's a splash. So it presents very well on your walls. It's again, and Al Milgrom, like I said, editor of Marvel at a time.
So what title was that in? Did that go into?
Tommy, I think it's Marvel Superheroes. Oh no, okay, it's the Invisible Hulk activity book. So, but some of these things were in the UK publications of the Marvel superhero stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and again, if this was a Hulk page by like Al Milgrom in Incredible Hulk, you're talking about 2,500, 3,500, and more. So
right.
So this is a what if piece, and again, I'm a big fan of What Ifs and with the cartoons and all that stuff. And this is Aaron Lopesetti, if I'm not mistaken. And this was one of the ones that was also closer to 250, so it's still under $500. It has great images of Captain Marvel, Strange.
Lopresti.
Oh,
Go back to the name. Lopresti.
Oh,
I
I'm
like how you
terrible.
put in 20 different syllables. How
I'm
many
terrible.
times did you mess up Sienkiewicz before you started realizing it was Sienkiewicz?
I didn't mess up Sienkiewicz because I met him, so he told me how to pronounce it from the beginning.
Okay.
So
Fair
because
enough.
other people sometimes say
Sienkiewicz. Yeah.
So and then
That's how I used to read it.
And again, there's different ways of saying. I will admit I'm terrible with names. So
you say it enough. It's okay. I like to mess with you. It's okay.
But again, a great piece with Captain, the Miss Marvel, Doctor Strange, and I'm pretty sure that's the Beast. So, and this is Scarlet Witch. So, a nice piece comparing it to the recent Doctor Strange, something of madness. I don't remember.
The multiverse
Madness. But what if piece under $500 with great characters, great imaging. So, and it's just
Mr. Lopresti. We're sorry if we're butchering your name.
Aaron, like that commercial.
Yeah.
So, and next we have
this piece.
well, one of the reasons I brought this piece is again, I love Black Cat. I'm sorry, but this is one of those pieces where it comes, and I don't think I've presented a lot of these. So, a lot of the newer artists will do everything in pencil and then scan it and send it to the inker in blue lines, and very rarely do you get to have an artist representative or a dealer that will sell or represent both artists and sell both pieces. Most of the time, you have to go to two different dealers or track them down. This is a Lark piece, and the reason I brought this is Lark did a long run of Daredevil, and he did it with Bendis. And one of the pieces I have is the Double M Cell Block D, but I always loved the girls, especially with Daredevil or Spider-Man with Black Cat, Black Widow, and all those girls. And this one is a perfect pencil piece, but then you have the ink piece next to it, and especially you get to see how this was scanned as a preliminary, sent in blue lines to Tommy, bring it up, the inker, I'm sorry, Stefano Guiano, which he did also the Daredevil issues with him. And again, sorry if I mispronounced that. And then he inked it. So, and the representative for both of them actually is the same guy. So you sometimes get to have both pieces of this, because I had a Daredevil piece like that with a stick.
So who did the blue then? The artist or the inker?
So this gets scanned.
That's the original
pencils. So this gets scanned into a computer digitally,
right.
And he finalizes.
So then he adds all the blue lines into digitally?
Well, he has either a layout already done or he adds it.
Okay.
So, and most of the time, since he did only the pencils and there's no backgrounds, he added it digitally. He can. That's another thing. Since this is also done digitally in Photoshop and all that stuff, you can have preset backgrounds and you can just copy and paste on them. So, not to say that he did it, but you can size these and have it like that. He sends a
change
digital
it as you need it, so you don't have to create straight lines or you don't have to do all that stuff. It's all done digitally.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he sends it as a file to Stefan, and Stefan inks it, and then he copies this and sends it to Marvel as the finished piece. So
that's cool.
Oh, and with these modern pieces, like I'm a big fan of Paulo Rivera, and he gets most of his stuff inked by his father, which is a very cool thing. It's a father and son, and this is kind of the way that you get something. Is Paulo Rivera's inks with digital backgrounds most of the time. If you get something very early, you get full pencils or oils, because he did some of the Marvel Mythos as oils. and you'll get his father's inks on another panel. So
Wow.
yeah, and I brought this along also because you get to see the whole process
Yeah,
of
that's really cool.
the two different team ups between the artist and the inker, and like Jim Lee or Scott Williams, they've been a partner for a very long time.
Right.
Alok and Stefano have been a partner through Amazing Spider-Man and Daredevil as well. So it's just, they work well together and they meld well together. So you get to see the whole process between the both of them. So
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a great piece to have on your wall, especially if you like Black Cat.
well, yeah. Again, Valentine's special. This one I brought along because it's Sandman Presents, and it's a Sandman page, and with the Netflix series of Sandman going, and the prices that we're seeing with the actual Sandman series, this is another venue that you can get a Sandman related piece, and from if I'm not mistaken, a Sandman artist that inked it, Vincent Locke and Mike Zulli. So Mike Zulli did the end where it was Awake and Sandman, and Vincent Locke inked some of the Sandman issues. So this is two Sandman artists in one page of the Sandman Presents series. And again, like I said, we've seen Sam Keith and Mike Dringenberg pieces go in the $40,000 range. We've seen the first appearance of Death pages go again in the same range and plus. So this is a fairly reasonable piece. If I wasn't mistaken, it was under $500. I'm not sure if it still is. Oh, again, it's under $250. So it's two Sandman artists, especially with the Netflix series and the popularity of it, and it's under $250 for an example of a Sandman-related page.
And again, all the detail.
Oh, again, Michael Zulli, which is crazy. If you've seen the Wake pages, he did those on pencil. He kind of sealed them with some kind of spray so they don't smear. But those are beautiful. And he did the Tana, no, I'm sorry, Madame Xanadu, stuff like that. So he has a style of his own that you can kind of see. And he inked earlier pieces. And this is very interesting that Vincent Locke inked this pencil piece. So it's a very cool page. And again, very beautiful woman throughout Valentine's related.
I see it.
This one's Hellblazer.
Is this a
So,
double page splash?
Yeah, it's a double page spread.
Oh, there it is.
So there's a difference between
Yeah. I say splash all the time when it's a spread.
So this is a spread, whereas a splash would be a complete image between the two panels. But this has paneling, a splash.
Don't get hung up on my poor terminology.
And then some other panels. So this is the double page spread. It's also abbreviated the same way, DPS. So. But this is a Hellblazer piece, or the Hellblazer piece, and it has a very nice storyline working. So, and again, under I think this one, okay, this one broke the $500 mark. So, but Mark Buckingham, which is one of the artists that started this Hellblazer series, and Alfredo Alcala, which is very prolific inker in DC, and just a great piece to have on your wall. Double page spread, just above $500. So, surprised it's under $1,000. And I was making sure that so they taped up some of the Zepatone because it didn't say. I was making sure that it wasn't cut into place. So,
Yeah.
But again, great imagery. So, especially
with Constantine in it. Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
And we're getting finally here to the older pieces. So here we have
this is a neat piece.
Oh, this is a Roy J. Crinkle, G. Crinkle. I'm sorry, Roy G. Crinkle piece, and it's a preliminary for Samarkand.
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 Mm-hmm.
So it's again under 500 pieces, under $500. Not actually under 250, and it's one of those artists that these next two pieces are EC related artists. So This particular piece, he would work with Frazetta and Al Williamson, and it's just a great example of his line ink work. It's a little bit faded because it was probably displayed, but again, great example of an EC artist, and his published pages go
Ridiculous amounts of money.
so, and to get something under 250, especially that displays so well, and the further you, again, we're looking at it very close, and we see the cross hatching, but the further you display, you actually see
The
the
horses,
king, the
yeah.
horses, and all that stuff. So it's a very interesting piece. So,
But this is also a very cautionary tale of what not to do with marker. You have to be careful with it because it will fade.
and that's why it's you got to display it under UV light, UV glass, and away from light. So,
Right.
well, that's funny.
What? Well, don't just say that's funny and then.
Well, okay, so the original eBay price to whoever, can you zoom into that?
Probably not. It's probably on the back of the.
It says $7.95
$7.95.
or $7.65. eBay yours.
Oh.
So far it's a third of the price, and it's a deal. And finally, this is the last piece for today. Again, another EC artist from
To interrupt, we like seeing prices like that because then we'll get something like a Ramita cover in, and it'll say $150 on the back, and it goes for 150,000 or something crazy like that.
150,000.
Well,
if it's not a Spider-Man cover.
It's not a Spider-Man cover. It's just crazy to see stuff like that.
So the last piece is, if I'm not mistaken, it is the cover or a back cover to a record, LP album, correct? And it's Bernie Cranston, which is another EC artist, and a piece under $500. This is the artist that the story of the Holocaust broke a record, the complete story where the man's running away in the train, and a couple of years ago, and he doesn't. His artwork is not so prolific as some of the other EC artists. So to find something non-EC related, of course, but a cover of no less, and a great use of Zipatone for him is a rarity. So it's just,
and one that hasn't yellowed. Like it hasn't for some. You can see it around the corners. The corners somehow have yellowed, but
which is interesting.
The
So
inside part hasn't.
well,
It's
that
amazing.
that might have been that they used the UV glass. So
could be.
Again, it helps. So, but again, a piece under $500. His EC pieces go in the thousands of dollars. So to get an example of a back cover for an LP is a great piece. And again, a nice masked woman. It almost looks like a kissing booth. So Valentine related.
Yeah, it does. Oh, you really attempted. I didn't have any of this.
Again, I tried,
Yeah,
especially with
that
the tagline. So
that was good. I didn't. I had already picked my stuff out before you did the tagline. So that's it. Nice.
yeah.
Well, good. I'm
You're
actually
gonna-
gonna use.
oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
because that's what they're doing.
So
we
we're
have a new
changing now,
camera.
yes.
We have a
We have-
dual camera system now.
We have a whole display.
We've
We have a
got
whole background.
fancy. Yeah,
We got lighting. It's just like that's-
what is going on? It's
yeah.
completely different than 4
It's
weeks ago when we were here.
Again, next year we'll probably have makeup. It's
You'll have makeup. You need it.
Again,
Buffer down that shine.
that's why I'm wearing a hat.
That's why you're wearing the sheen. So 2 weeks ago we had a question, and about CBCS. And first of all, I don't think I understood the question correctly, so I want to kind of revisit that. We were asked, do we ever showcase CBCS books? And what I thought it meant was, do we ever have CBCS
a select auction? A select auction that's so.
And my answer is no, typically, because the scope of CGC versus CBCS, we don't get that many. However, in the meantime, I did find out we did have one. We had the Doug's Dell Gold Key auction. That was all CBCS books.
Oh wow!
I didn't know that.
That I didn't know.
There's a second
either.
part coming up, and I'm wondering. I didn't take a look, but I'm wondering if that is the same thing. If it's all Dell or CBCS books.
I'm
So I
surprised.
misunderstood. I think the question was, do we ever show CBCS books appear? And I have brought them here and there, But the problem is 10-1. I think maybe even more. We get CGC to
CGC
CBS.
is way more sent to us by consigners than CBCS,
Right.
for sure.
So my mistake in not understanding the question. I apologize. However, that being said, I did want to bring up something. We did have a Daredevil 158.94. This is witness verified, so this label is a little different than what I'm going to kind of talk about. The
It's
one
still
thing,
yellow.
yes,
So
but the one thing that CBCS does that CGC doesn't do that I like, and we've talked about this in the past, is they will still they will not
verify
give it. They will verify a signature based on their experts and give it a red label. And that red label denotes that the signature is authentic. So anything like Jack Kirby, CGC can't authenticate because Kirby died before CGC was created.
and they usually put sign or Jack
Written,
Kirby, written
written,
Jack Kirby or written Stan Lee if it's before they would have
and
put
only
this.
if it's on the inside front cover or like inside the
Yes,
page.
and it's,
But if it's on the
front,
cover, it's a green label.
yes.
It's that simple. So whereas CBCS won't do that, they'll verify it and then give it a non-green label as an authentic label.
And again, the parent company to CBCS is Beckett, and Beckett does a lot of sports
They
cards
do
and stuff like that,
stuff.
and a lot of authentication in that relation. So that's why they offer that service.
Right.
Whereas CGC again doesn't really do any sports memorabilia or anything
Right.
besides grading cards. And again, their whole thing is, which is another safeguard, I would say, but they won't authenticate a signature that they don't witness. So, or a CGC representative didn't
Right.
witness. So,
Right. So glad we cleared that up. Better answer.
but again, the yellow label, CGC has a yellow label.
They sat and actually saw it,
and CBCS is also, but they will have a blue label that says verified signature as well.
Red
So,
label.
which with a
it's a red label.
is it a red one?
CBCS is a red label that says verified signature.
Okay. Well, there's a little check mark that says verified, but I don't know if it's again. Maybe it's a red label, maybe it's a blue
Trust
label.
me,
Okay,
it's a red label.
I'll trust you on this one.
Blue label, if there's a check mark, that means outstanding for its grade.
Okay.
They do a little plus, it's almost like a 8.5 plus, so to speak. If they put a check mark on it, that means it's exceptional for the grade.
Okay.
Just
all right.
I got that one. I know I got that one right.
I'm trusting on that.
If I'm wrong, somebody's going to yell at me, I'm sure. So
comments.
Yeah. Anybody out there in TV land, I'm sure, is going to get me if I am wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I think I'm right. So this is the only raw book I pulled. I've brought a bunch of others. These Ghost Riders, I have said from the beginning that Magazine Enterprises and Standard, those are the two publishing companies that we see that books are just trashed. I mean,
it's really hard to find.
They are really hard to find a nice grade,
especially war comics. Though,
war comics. But these Ghost Riders are not easy to find. The original Ghost Riders. This one actually has a skull on the cover, which I like because it's part of the house.
I love the signature in the heart.
Yeah,
Valentine.
Valentine did that without even trying. That's even better. But that's kind of why I brought this along and how rare this book is, and just in general. I mean, it's about a fine. Tommy? What did they say the grade was? I didn't grade this myself, so I don't want to butcher the grade. Yeah, it's a fine plus, which is right about where it is. It's a beautiful book, and when you bring up the census on things, with books like this, you can see there's only 22 universal on the census, and this is a 6.5, so that means there's only 2, 4, 6, 7 books higher graded.
And this is a number 1, right? Oh, this is number 8.
It's number 8, but it's a beautiful book. See the 8. It hides. It's right there.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure that if there's only 7 higher and there's only 22 on the census, this one is going to be in demand for sure when the bidding happens, or when the bidding really starts, because it just started today, so to speak, yesterday.
Sunday.
So, no. Tuesday.
This one's moved?
No. It starts on Tuesday and it goes until Sunday.
Again, with the
It goes
final,
live.
the
It goes
final day
live
is
on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is,
Yes.
it's only at like a book
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
We're just not communicating well today, are we?
Again, I asked the final
Okay.
run.
It's going on right now, and it will end on Sunday.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna hit him with his own Daredevil book.
That's not mine. I wish it was mine. 9/8.
The reason I brought this, actually, I would never hit him with this because it's too high a grade. Look at how beautiful this is. And, I mean, I'm totally in love with it. 9/8 Silver Age Daredevil. I can't even tell you. I wanted to research how many 9/8s were in the first 33 books, and the first 33 books. But how many are 9/8s are in for number 33, Tommy? It can't be that many. There's 11. So I mean, there's 24 9/6s, 42 9/4s, and it kind of, there's a lot underneath that. So, but when you see 9/8s like this, I tend to say, okay, there's 11. That seems like a lot. 10 of them are in consignor, collections
Yeah.
that are not coming out anytime soon. And here's the one you're going to see in 5 years. So I can't believe this. That book is just so pretty.
It's in those registry sets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's got the Beetle in it, who was a Spider-Man nemesis that started with he was in the Sinister Six for a while. You don't know him.
It's okay. It's Daredevil. I remember him from Daredevil, not Spider-Man.
Oh no, that was where did he start out? I would like to say he started out in Strange Tales or Tales of Suspense, somewhere around there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but. That's the problem is I have too many comic facts in my head. I can't remember them anymore, or I'm just getting too old. One of the two.
I can understand that. I'm forgetting stuff.
So I know you guys can kind of see what's coming up. So I'm hoping they're flipping the camera fast enough so you can't focus on what's coming up. So what I'm showing first, Detective 85. Yes, this is a 4.0. It's a beautiful 4.0. It's got a lot of dust shadowing around here. It's great. It's got creamed off white pages, fine, but it is a solid 4.0. And it's got 2 Jokers on the cover. That's in our weekly sale, and we have a lot of things coming up on our weekly sale down the line. Like I stacked. All I was doing was stacking
weekly.
Week 16. Week 17, I know we'll have a Hulk 1 and AF-15, Tales of Suspense 39. It'll have a Fantastic Four number 5, an Amazing Spider-Man 1, and X-Men 1. It goes on and on. I got everything back today at the same time that I sent out at the same time. So those will all be up in the upcoming auction. I mean, they're just coming and going so fast. These major collections. I love Golden Age. Anything under 100 with Detective Comics to me is a very hard book to find. You see the 27. I think I've seen more Detective 27s in the last few years than I've seen 85, which is weird.
Well, because everybody lets them out of their collection because of the price,
right?
Whereas 85 hasn't. Everybody,
it's still there.
It's up there, but it's like
right. It's not millions of dollars, sure, but still, I would argue. I mean, and this is 1944. I would argue that you would see maybe not Detective 27. That's kind of a weird number, but 50. You might see 50 more. You might see 65 a little more, 67 a little more. Penguin cover, where he's riding the ostrich.
Again, this is
see those
double Joker.
I never see this book. So. I love it. That's why I brought him. This is part of the what we would want anyway. So
www. It's 4 W's.
4 W's. So now he finally throws it up there. I've got a name drop before I get it up, before I get the slogan up, So I brought this, and I may have shown a Scooby-Doo one before.
Yeah.
I don't care. These are difficult to find, but they are really difficult to find above a 6.0. This red cover will bleed in any kind of light like crazy. Now, this is an 8.0, and the highest grade, I think, is a 9.4 on the census.
Well,
pretty certain.
I think red is just as bad as black.
Just as bad as black.
And if you look through it, it'll bleed. And you can actually see what's on the other
Yeah,
side
you
of a
can
bind.
see what the inside cover is.
Is
And so I'm telling you, I may have brought a Scooby Doo one before. I don't care. You can see the price. That's only a day of act, a full 24 hours of bidding, and it's at 625. What's the census time?
again, this is a rare book.
It is tough. So there are 1685s, 190, 792s, and 294s. So there's a 23, 24, 26 higher graded copies, nothing above a 94. And I have to say, if you've got a book that doesn't go above an 80 to 85 or a 90 to 94, it is a rare book.
Again,
It is
80,
tough and high grade.
80 and above is high grade.
It's high grade. And so anybody who wants a Scooby Doo one has the money to pay for one. Get it now because I'm telling you, they don't exist any higher in 9.4 and 8.0, as you said, is a high grade.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be holding out for those two low 9.4s, you better have tens of thousands of dollars to pay for that. I can't wait to see if we ever get one of those.
That's the edge. 80 is the edge.
Yeah.
Between high grade and excellent or whatever.
Yeah. It's amazing. So I brought a couple pre-code horror books. I love pre-code horror, as we know. I'm a big fan of this one just because I wasn't going to put them together.
Okay.
First of all, he got claws. How does he tie a knot and get things through the loop?
It's Zoidberg.
It's Zoidberg. I know, it's an evil Zoidberg. And then the other thing to this is she's in a coffin going into a swirling vat, so at least she's protected in the coffin. I don't know. Sometimes, well, it could be. You know, we have, you know, when I have to do the newsletters, I've got to do cover of the weeks that I kind of make fun of and poke of. This is one I would actually bring out and poke fun of because I don't know if her doom is really that doomy.
And what's going on here? There's like tar coming down, but what are these?
Right. I mean, what is going on? We don't know. Zoidberg is just evil. It's a thin Zoidberg.
And why are these guys in cloaks and these guys are just regular guys? Are these like
they're the laymen? They're the union.
It's just like you can't do anything in this cave. You got to tell us what to do.
You got to tell us what to do.
You're good for you.
You just need to be henchmen. Just tell us what to do.
New York Comic Con.
So, oh man, all the shows are like that now. By the way, you can't do any of that without union rolling the carpet, moving stuff.
True.
So, but anyway, I like this cover, but at the same time, I want to make fun of it, which makes me want it even more. You know,
and she doesn't look that.
No, she kind of looks she's just laying down for a rest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that, she doesn't look upset. She looks more perturbed that you woke her up.
She's a little bit upset. She's upset.
Maybe she got pulled out of the acid, and that's why she's mad. She got woken up. I don't know.
These cult covers.
Yeah, you know. But the reason I brought the other one is because this is one of my favorite titles in pre-code horror, Mysterious Adventures.
This is a great cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover. It's got all the zombies, skeletons, but almost every single Mysterious Adventure cover has a skeleton or a zombie on it, or a skull in some fashion. I love the whole series. This is a great 5.5. It's a nice, solid book. It's got white pages. Beautiful. If you really like pre-code horror, you like zombies, or you like skeletons, kind of what I'd be going for. My favorite is, I think, the 19 where the drunk driver. I used to own one. I miss it. I should never have sold that book. It's the guy's driving, but the skeletons are driving, and he's like, no, don't kill me. He's like, well, you already ran us over and killed us while you were drunk driving, so now it's your turn. But I love covers like that where they're coming back to kill the people who wronged them.
Valentine's Day.
You see, I did it without even trying. Hey, Valentine's Day. We all love America. No, we all love America. So, Valentine's Day.
That one doesn't really.
This is really cool. I've always been fascinated with eagles. I love
L.B. Cole.
I love L.B. Cole and Eagle Comics 1 more than anything in the world. I love that book. But the reason I brought this is because I like eagles. I'm a big fan of eagles, but also I'm a big fan of black covers. And so, you know, during the war, this is 1943, we're still going in through Germany. I don't know if we hit Germany yet at that point, or we were just about to. We've already invaded through Italy. And the simple fact is we're still pushing for war bonds and war stamps.
Again,
and, you know,
and this for a 5.5 black cover,
that's not too bad.
That's amazing. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with
swelling on the back.
Yeah, but
it could be the internal.
You got a little tear right
It's
there.
a nice book. I
Oh,
mean,
this is
for a 5.5 in the case,
5.5.
it's a beautiful.
That presents amazing. So
that's going to be a sweet book.
I think that's better than 5.5 actually.
And it's got a penguin appearance, and it's a classic cover. Does that have a spine split, maybe?
This one.
It's like
it's got
right at the top.
yeah. Okay. It's got a little piece missing at the top. Okay, makes
So
sense.
it's got a spine split
Yeah,
at the top, a little bit.
But
But
it's
absolutely,
presents
it's a
perfectly.
beautiful. You couldn't tell unless you looked on the
No,
side.
yeah.
That is a sweet book. Love it.
Oh, and that's apparently. Oh no, this QR code's been there before. I thought there was a sticker there of the QR code.
No.
So,
And I brought the last two. I'm going to have you hold this one up because I brought these two together on purpose. So it's not very often we get these two books. Need-or titles are what I call really good. So these are need-or publications, or they're better publications, periodicals, but they're need-or. Pines, I think, is another iteration of them. But this is where you get the exciting comics, startling comics. You get real life comics are part of that.
okay.
So the real life 3 with the Hitler cover is all part of Nidor. Exciting. What did I say? Exciting, startling. Wonder
Better.
Comics is another one. But the reason I bought these, this is the first appearance of the Black Terror. This is the first appearance of the Fighting Yank. We have them both in the same sale, which is unbelievably
That
rare.
is crazy.
I think I've seen only one of these prior that I've seen in my lifetime. I think I've only seen one, if I've ever seen one, of the Startling Comics 10. So this is the Exciting Comics 9 and Startling Comics 10. Fighting Yank, that's the first appearance of the Fighting Yank. First appearance of Black Terror. Absolutely beyond belief amazing. We have both in the same sale. I would assume they're the same client. That's the only reason I can think we would have both at the same time.
And to think all that art, because I'd love to see that art, especially this one, like that image.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, Schomburg at his best.
Oh, it's amazing.
Is it even? It's got to be Schomburg, right?
No,
it's not.
John Daly.
It's Elmer Wexler. That's amazing. Well, Schomburg did a lot of these covers too. So
Richard Hughes story, Wexler cover.
Yeah. Man, like you said,
that's crazy.
What wouldn't you do to just run across that artwork?
Or Wexler artwork at all? I don't think I've ever seen a piece of art by him.
No, but wouldn't it be cool?
That'd be amazing.
I can't tell you how amazing it would be to just open up a door, find a closet, find stacks of Golden Age artwork. Oh God! I mean, we had talked about where's all LB Cole stuff and what happened to it. I heard we were destroyed in the flood, and just how traumatizing that is because I love Cole, and I've seen some of his animal studies. We've sold them before, just these little pieces with how he would draw animals.
Yeah.
They're so anatomically correct. It's unbelievable. Like you can't imagine. So I can only imagine what his real, his published artwork looked like.
Again, we've had one of the covers.
We've had one, but that's the only one I know
of. That was an amazing piece.
It is.
And it wasn't a superhero one. It was just, I think it was a gorilla.
Yeah,
it's gorilla
with an eagle. Gorilla and an eagle.
Yeah.
And I think there's a cat on there too. I would like to say panther, but I don't remember. But I remember looking at that. It's a twice up, and it's absolutely stunning how detailed that is. And when you look at the cover, of the comic, you're like, it's not that big of a deal. When you look at the art,
when you look at the black and white,
it's
the line
really
work.
amazing.
It's like
So, well, any questions out there for us? We've been waiting patiently to hear from you. Are you going anywhere? Are you taking any trips at all?
March 1st, I'll be in Seattle for ECC, Emerald City Comic Con.
How did I not get it going? I went last year.
And I enjoy going to Seattle. And then I'll be in Chicago in the middle of the March for a salon appraisal fair that Chicago, our office is having. And after that, I'll be literally that weekend, I'll be in Miami for Miami Comic-Con, which is a friend of mine that presents it.
Are you going on your own then, or are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
That'll be fun. So.
Yeah, I think I'm done with traveling for a little bit. I was supposed to go see the Final Four down in Houston. I can handle paying $450 for a ticket. I'm all good with that. but I am not okay with paying $150 for the service fee to get the ticket.
Wow.
That I
Well,
can't
it's
handle.
Ticketmaster. It's just like there's no way around that. They were
I won't
suing
do it.
Ticketmaster recently. So.
I won't do that. That kills me.
Oh, and in May, I think it's in May 6th. I'll be in New York. So.
How are you going to New York for?
Comic Art Con. So.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely be fun. They have one in New York and they have one in California, but there's two different people. I think it's just a one day event, so it's just like,
1 day, one person.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
but that'll be fun. So
yeah, we just did Cal Comic Con last weekend, and that was fun.
Yeah,
we got a lot of stuff. So, well, no questions. I guess I guess we'll just sign off. We miss questions. We love questions.
Happy Valentine's Day. Heartbroken. Yeah. We're heartbroken here. Like
we have a love-hate relationship. I love to hate him, hate to love him. You know? No, we're buddies. So okay, guys. Well, that's it. I guess we're not going to jaw anymore. We're not going to talk your ear off. There are no questions coming in. I am Brian Wiedman. Thank you very much for joining us.
And I'm Xavier Chavez.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Belated. It was yesterday.
And again, comics are forever.
He is single. Don't forget.
Wow, you keep on throwing it out there.
Well, you never know if there are some young, single women out there, comic art
wow.
geeks that want to meet you. You're a celebrity now.
I seriously thought I'm far from a celebrity.
I'm trying to help him. He's just not taking it.
No.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Take care.